Sorry what happened in the last video. I don't know. It just cut off. But we not only have a mixer elixir, now we have the beer. So we have the German boot beer. Ooh, beer. Ooh, beer. Got my lottery tickets for the $650,000 game. Texas two-step. There's a Texas shape right there. Yeah. Those suds. My sud buds. The Texas humidity is bodacious. The boot beer from the Tomball German Festival. Okay, like just a word for the future. If there is a technical malfunction on any of my cameras or any of my computers or phone or whatever, that if I don't finish a video, that I will finish the idea at least later in some form or another. So I thought it was just a car park, but that was a sheriff's patrol car. I don't know why he was at that house, but anyways, I'm getting a wild vibe from the night. It's really hot. Oh, it's been hot all day. It's humid. You know, I feel like people are gonna let loose tonight. I mean, not just like partying, but maybe in some not so positive ways as well. So let loose some, you know, hopefully not let loose some violence or let loose some fighting or something, but you know. That's a skill that we learned in our first like choir class in 6th grade, you know. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Do re mi fa sol la ti do. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like the structure of the middle school teaching back then in Texas in 6th to 8th grade. I like it how they would have like a team of players and teachers. Like this one teacher in 6th grade was awesome. I wish I would have taken him in 7th grade choir class too. But what I'd say, I think I switched from choir to theater, I think. So, but this one guy was like John Tesh, and he was like the keyboard guy. And then you had a female teacher. The male female teacher, choir teachers seemed to work really well. And so I mean, it helps professional musicians teaching music class. Yeah, it makes the experience better for the children. Yeah, seventh grade, I think I took the elective theater arts and art, and then eighth grade I went back to I took theater arts and choir, so it was like the double dose. Yeah, yeah, I took that's right. I took choir sixth grade, and then seventh grade it was theater arts, and then eighth grade I took theater arts and choir at the same time. So yeah. Choir class was great because that's where the girls are at, man. You know, that's where all the because they need the girls to sing in the choir. Yes, the fucking babes. Yeah. Like reflecting back on sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, I remember how like clean the girls looked. They're just so clean, so fresh, so clean. You know, like Outcast song, so fresh and so clean, clean. Yeah. I think the girls were so clean, not just because the area that I lived in and back then in Pasadena, Texas, was like middle to upper middle class area. So a lot of the people, the richest people, were going to the school, to the middle schools I was going to in the area, and so. But also, trash culture hadn't taken over the culture yet, so there was no Dita Von Teese and Kat Von D's. Like so many of those, like just people getting tattoos all over their bodies and getting piercings everywhere and dyeing their hair and shit. So all the women were clean and natural, pretty much. So the '90s had that nice where the women look nice, where they look really, really awesome, really clean, and like that Gillian Anderson from X-Files. Clean hair, clean everything. The cleanliness, I dig it. I'm glad I grew up next to a Safeway and a Jack in the Box and a McDonald's. And there was actually a Taco Bell and a Long John Silver's near our old middle school. So I was good on the food, on the good food. It was really nice. Our apartments were right across the street from the Safeway. So that was like very convenient. Yeah. It was kind of fun to take night jaunts to the Safeway. Yeah. I noticed that there was some Safeways still in operation around the country. Not so much in Texas anymore. They're kind of gone by the wayside. I guess maybe there's a few, but back in the day there used to be a lot of Safeways in Texas, and so there was an incident at Safeway recently. They had some spoiled food, and some people got sick, and then another incident, some people got shot at Safeway. So I wrote in the Fox News comments, "Oh, it sounds like it's the unsafe way." I hope they enjoyed that. What's the most callous comment I've left online? I guess it was they had a Fox News article and it was like a cemetery got flooded, and I wrote, "Well, they're dead anyway." people didn't enjoy that, so let's say, well, everybody's dead anyway. So what's the matter with the flood? It's not like anybody drowned; they're already dead. Oh man. So George Carlin, before September 11, 2001 terror attack happened, he released. Did he release it right before? And his comedy skit was, "You know what I love? I love it when a lot of people die at the same time." Oh my God, that they had to like scratch his whole comedy tour after that. They had to pull his comedy album. Yeah, I've heard it online though. It makes me laugh though. Yeah, they say that Alex Jones predicted 9/11 because there's like a broadcast where he says it a few months before. You better watch out. There's something with the World Trade Center and Osama bin Laden. So there's a heat wave that's early in Texas in the Gulf, and so it's heating up the waters. And then scientists and meteorologists are predicting that's going to be a really crazy hurricane season because the water's already warm. All it needs is the moisture to come from Africa, right? And then it spins. I suppose the curvature of the earth is what makes the storm that particular way. It makes sense, right? So you have a curved earth and then a storm's coming along gaining energy from the ocean. So it's going to be in a circular cyclone type pattern. Well, it's going to be different in the Pacific. It's going to be the typhoon. And then in the Atlantic Ocean, it's going to be the hurricane. That shit too high. Too high. Too high. Too high. Yeah, I have it on too high, I think. So here's the deal. Yeah, I guess I like one of the girls like in sixth grade, middle school, because one girl looked like Renee Russo, like a young Renee Russo, and another girl looked like a young Barbara Streisand. She had that baby face and stuff. Barbara Streisand. Yeah, one of the girls looked a lot like Barbara Streisand. Not the same, but like, I guess it's like Peppermint Patty meets Barbara Streisand. I guess is a better analogy for it. Like she was almost ugly, but she looked Barbara Streisand enough to look hot. So I'm in this geology class in 2008, and one of the girls said, "Oh, we used to go to school together in middle school in Pasadena." And I was like, and I barely remembered her, but she was hot. But she was married to a guy in the Army and already had like 2 kids since we were 28 and a lot older than we were before. And so I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. That's so weird, that I would take a college class and then somebody would be in the same class, from like middle school. That's pretty strange. But it's possible, right? Oh, it's a small world after all. As the old saying goes, I suppose. Yeah, she was a really nice chick, She makes it very clear that she's married and has 2 children, right? Like pretty much from the get-go. Hey, you went to middle school. And I was like, I didn't really remember her as well. And then I said, oh yeah, I guess I do remember, yeah. She wasn't on my watch list. Not that she wasn't plain Jane, mind you. She wasn't plain Jane. It's just there was like so many hot girls. There were so many hot white girls in my middle schools that like it was hard to keep up. So it was hard. They didn't have Facebook back then. so you couldn't like catalog them all or whatever. I guess Facebook would be crazy. Social media would be pretty crazy if you had all the girls in your school like on the online. Yeah, if you're a young man, I guess that'd be like a wild thing. Then you'd be surfing all the chicks. Ah, yeah. Do you think dudes sit around on social media and go, "Oh man, look at Jennifer, woo"? I don't know, maybe. Look at Cassandra, ooh. Guys sitting around like on a lonely Friday night, they're just hitting up the social media and shit. I can imagine a scenario like that. The scenario. Yeah. What did we have? We just had school, and that's where you met the chicks. And then if they lived in your neighborhood and you had friends, then you could meet chicks through your friends. Or, if you liked a girl at school, and let's say Jennifer Johnson, let's say, doing a generic name. Let's say you're really into Jennifer Johnson, then you had to look in this phone book and then find out where she lives and her phone number, and then you could try to call her if you're working up enough courage for that, and then say, hey, yeah, my name's Billy. I'm in your 7th grade. I'm in your chemistry class there. What's up? Oh, boys want to talk to me. Oh, that's so flattering. Or maybe it could go the other way. Who the fuck are you? Don't ever call this number again. Fucking creep. So it could go either way. I mean, really. What a fucking weirdo. There it is. Woo. I never thought looking up people's addresses in middle school was a stalker thing to do. So, as long as you didn't harm, as long as you were just trying to reach out and touch someone, it was cool. But, yeah. Of course, I wouldn't go over girls' houses unless I was invited. Ka-ching, that was the difference between cool and stalker, right? So, yeah, that was pretty much the dividing line. There's like a separation between like cool and stalker, right? So there's like, hey, Rachel, you want to hang out? Can I have your number? And then there's like, you go to Rachel's house uninvited. You're like, hey, Rachel, and you jump out of the bushes. There is like a difference between the approach here. So yeah, there is a little bit of difference, huh? Like being invited and not invited. That's pretty much the whole thing. Jumping out of the bushes is the stalking thing. Maybe it is stalking, like a guy's like, oh, well, I saw your TikTok or Instagram and you're going to the mall, and I saw your video, so I just decided to come. And then that might be pretty weird too. lost it. I lost the vibe. I had negative vibe. Bogus. Yeah. Thursday night. Ooh. All right. Not that exciting, right? Thursday night. Ooh. Hell yeah. Always. So the press coverage for Donald Trump is all negative. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Why doesn't the system work for American people? You know, I guess I could name off all the reasons, you know, every single one. But I'm just thinking, I'm having a problem dealing with this. This is the problem I have with American society, American civilization, as it stands on the precipice of its almost 250th year. The issue I'm having is that the people don't seem to be in charge. And every time the people try to take charge, then the government pushes us down, or the Democrat Party. That's the problem that I have. The system tries to put us down. Yeah. So every time the people try to exercise their power and authority and rights and liberties and constitutional freedoms, God-given rights, divine rights, the system seems to push back at us, folks that are American citizens. That's the problem I have with the America and the American political system, is that it does not respect the sanctity of the people, and it does not represent us, really. So it might represent Satan, it might represent global world government, global elites. It might represent George Soros. It might represent Bill Gates. It might represent Bill Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden. But it sure as damn hell doesn't represent us. That's been bothering me for a long time. And the corporate propaganda, Democrat favoring news media doesn't help represent what the people really want, what they really need, what they really desire, what they really dream of. So the Pope shit is over. I know. The ABC, Disney, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, they tried to hide in the Pope as Trump and the stock market were doing great. They tried to hide in the Pope, but you can't hide in the Pope they tried to hide in the whole Pope thing for like at least a week and a half. The corporate mainstream fake news media. Now the Pope shit is over. They have a new Pope. The Pope shit's done. All right. They say that Trump tariffs are going to raise food prices. Yeah. Huh? What's up? No. What's up? Yeah.
How old is Shakira?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you can't find out. Okay.
No, I don't know right now.
Okay. She always seems so young. Even now, she seems young.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so kind of the problem with the United States right now, the Civil War isn't between the races. It's between the haves and the have-nots. Let's be realistic about the real Civil War. Let's be realistic about the real conflict. The real conflict is between globalists and nationalists. Okay, bar none. That's it. We are the world, kumbaya motherfuckers, and the people that want to preserve and protect and expand America and American ideals and interests. That's it. That's essentially, it's a battle between the bicoastal elites and everybody else. Bar none. The Democrat Party and their liberal global world order elites try to lecture us about their moral superiority over us when they do some of the most evil, corrupt, asinine shit in the history of mankind, and they try to lecture us about it, about what we do. They fly private jets all over the world to Davos, Switzerland, World Economic Forum, and they lecture us about burning fossil fuels. They can go fuck themselves, essentially. They feel entitled to it all. Not that American citizens, American voters are entitled to the best, but that they are entitled to it all. Entitled to all the information, entitled to all the money, all the land, everything else. They think they own it all and that it's all theirs. And they need more. They need more from us. Yeah, well, that shit isn't fucking happening. America saved itself in November 2024. Saved itself from a dark and ruinous path. It doesn't mean that the battle's over just in one election. It just means that America temporarily got itself off life support and it got into stable condition. So temporarily. Doesn't mean the battle for freedom is over. It's never over. Because there will always be those that wish to take it from us and take what we got and take all we're going to ever have. It wasn't enough that they wanted stuff. They wanted bitches and yachts and nice living and the money and the gold and the power and the control. It wasn't enough for them that they had all that. But then they wanted our rights and our liberties too. They wanted to destroy and dismantle the U.S. Constitution of the United States. It wasn't enough that they had all the shit, but then they wanted more. That's really the problem. You have the pretty girl, you have the 3 kids, you have the mansion, you have all the shit. You should be satisfied. But they're not. Somehow. They have the windsurfing, they have the ski lifts, they have the yacht, they have the island, they have all that. Still not satisfied. You know? Still not fucking enough. It's ridiculous. They had it all, and they still wanted more. And now the United States of America is almost $37 trillion worth in debt. The writers of the Constitution, James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, Declaration of Independence, they should have wrote that congressmen and women have term limits. Yeah. That's their fatal flaw. The government would be totally perfect and accountable to the people if they had written that the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives are limited in terms, but they have no such limits. So they could be corrupt and keep on being elected for 40, 50 fucking years of our lives. There's nothing we can do about it except vote them out, switch them out faster. We don't need politicians staying in power until my grandmother's age in a wheelchair or beyond, looking catatonic and being wheeled around just because they don't want to give up their seat or their power. So nature's going to make them give up their power eventually. Even Vlad Mad Putin, even Xi Jinping. They're going to get old, decrepit. They're going to get sick. They're going to fucking die. Just like everybody else does. Thank God. Thank God put in the death insurance. Yeah, because if some of these people were immortal, we'd be living through an eternal hell all the time. Yeah, God put in death insurance, didn't he? Yeah, the great equalizer. There's no class in death. There's no status in death. There's no riches, free, poor, wealthy, or bond. It's all the same. And the Grim Reaper. In the final judgment, it's all the same. I like that. The great equalizer. The end. Nice. I don't mind that the judiciary, I don't mind that the Supreme Court, that they rule for life. That makes sense. It creates balance within the government. The three branches of government are supposed to be co-equal and check and balance each other. So the executive, the presidency, the commander-in-chief, the House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, the legislative branch, and the judicial, the Supreme Court, are all supposed to check each other and balance each other. So the president is the commander-in-chief. He's the leader. He's the chief executive. Legislative branch, upper and lower chambers of Congress, they make laws and they pass laws and they send it to the president to be signed or vetoed. And the courts, the supreme law of the land is the Supreme Court. They decide the constitutionality of the law. And they decide whether what the Congress and the president are doing are constitutionally legal or not. So, one big continuum. I kind of like the flow chart they do in government classes. It's a lot better than what I'm saying. So the point of the Supreme Court is to enforce the constitutionality of laws in the United States of America. That's their purpose. Their high purpose of the High Court. I am not a fan of the High Court being politicized. I'm really not. Either by either party. I'm glad it's more of a conservative majority because, we don't have gay day or some shit, or some far leftist bullshit. But on the other hand, I'm concerned about the court being politicized. The U.S. Supreme Court. It should be just the High Court, the Supreme Court should be concerned with enforcing the constitutionality of law upon, the American system and checking and balancing the U.S. Congress and the executive branch. That's their main goal. That should be their main focus. So, it's kind of like, okay, you have a leader, you have the accountants, I guess the legislators, they make the laws and they tax, they bring in they control the purse strings of the United States. So they control the money, so they have a lot of power, especially the senators. So, but the judicial should check their power if it gets out of control, as it has over whatever decades, over the last 40, 50 years. But what I've seen the Supreme Court doing over the last few years is when you have a tyrannical presidency like the Biden-Harris presidency, a really tyrannical organization, a really ruthless crew, elected kind of rigged, or they may have stolen the election using the Chinese coronavirus plague. What you have is a Supreme Court that was mostly conservative, and they were kind of pissed that there was a power grab. And so their way to check Joe Biden and his cronies was to overturn Roe versus Wade, which would really piss off the left. And they did that on purpose, obviously. Maybe Roe versus Wade might not have been overturned if the Democrats had not so blatantly seized power. So that was kind of basically with the coronavirus, the Biden-Harris and the Democrats were able to seize the legislative and the executive branch all in one swoop in 2020. So, which halted Trump's reelection at the time. Only temporarily staved off what was coming, which was a big ass whooping by the American people for their fucking crimes and corruption. It only temporarily stopped what was going to come anyway. All their federal forces, all their shit, all their Democrat liberal elites, all their MSN, MSNBC, CNN, NBC, ABC, Dishonesty News, CBS, all their fucking gears of power couldn't stop us. None of it could, because it was the will of the American people. You know, they stopped us that one time where they rigged it with the Chinese plague, but they can't every 2 to 4 years or 6 years come up with a new plague. I guess they could if they got busy in the Wuhan Virology Institute and started releasing plagues. But it would get a little suspicious if there was a new plague all the time, right? You couldn't pull that trick all the time without the people start to demand answers for the crimes that have been perpetrated against us and the world for the sake of power. Yeah, it would be a little bit suspicious, wouldn't it? If there was, there's a pandemic that comes out November 2019, the COVID-19 coronavirus. And then all of a sudden, wow, the next election needs to happen, 2024. Then in 2023, there's a new virus that comes out. And then before the 2026 midterms, then a new virus comes out, a new crisis. And before the 2028 election, a new crisis comes. It would become redundant. So whoever the powers that be are, the liberal global world order, they know they can't use the same trick twice. The Democrat Party is trying to use the Obama trick, which is hey, there's a black guy or a black or Indian woman. They're trying that with a woman of color now. They're trying this trick. They want to do Obama 2.0. They really haven't changed their playbook too much. It's still the same fucking playbook. It's actually boring. It's actually ridiculous. If you analyze their playbook, which is predicated off of not electing straight white men to power, it's just bogus. You know, it's ridiculous, but that's what they're going to try. They've been trying to do Obama 2.0. First, they tried the white lady. That didn't work. Okay, Obama worked because he was half Kenyan, half white. He was an interracial president. He's not the first black. He's not the first African president. He might have been called that. He's half white, half black. He's half Kenyan, half white. So his mother was white. His dad was from Kenya. He's the first interracial mixed president. All right. You can call him the first black president if you want to. He's not the first brother president. He's not a real brother. All right. That's true. Yeah, you can call him the first African-American president. You can get away with that. It's just everybody knows that he's not a real brother. You know? He's not President Wesley Snipes. Come on, it's not President Snoop Dogg. It's fucking President Barack Hussein Obama with the white mama. All right. He's got too much of that Caucasian stuff. That's why he can speak so well, because he's Caucasian. He's got that Caucasian sensation. Yeah. Some of that Caucasian sensation. Oh man. You think America would elect a true brother president? Like President Wesley Snipes? I don't know. Did you ever play Russian roulette? Did you ever play Russian roulette? On occasion. Always bet on black. Wesley Snipes. Passenger 57? I know you saw it. With the Russians take over the plane, and it's up to Wesley Snipes to stop the terrorists. Have you ever played Russian roulette? And and the Russian guy goes, on occasion. He goes, always bet on black. Yeah. If you haven't seen Passenger 57, I don't think you've lived yet. Well, Wesley Snipes was the best Blade, huh? Yeah, Wesley Snipes was the best Blade because he was badass, he was in shape. I worked at the movie theater in 1998, and at the end it was like, some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. And then so I clean up the theaters, and then I go watch it again, and then at the ending, some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill. And then the movie would end again, because I worked at the movie theater. Every 2 hours it would play. And I go in there again, and I watch the ending fight scene and go, some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Then I watch it. And then probably, at some point I said, you're probably seeing this enough times, dude. I have to watch it. I didn't catch Blade 2 for some reason. And I heard it had Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead in it. Oh man, it's too bad I missed that one. I think I missed Blade 2. I don't know how I missed Blade 2. I guess at 22 I was trying to do a movie called Laid 2. Yeah. I guess if you're a young man, you want to get into a movie called Laid 2. Ah! Alright, that's not funny. That's after you had a few beers. Alright, yeah. Laid 2? No, I like First Laid Kits. That's my favorite pun, actually, about Laid. First Laid Kits. Oh, please, I hope no schools make First Laid Kits. That'd be awful. What, Tim Waltz was trying to put tampons in the boys' schools and stuff? Tampons for boys? Boys don't menstruate, though. They don't have periods. Except for school periods, I guess. Yeah. You had period. Did they call it periods when we were in middle school? Yeah, they call it period. Period 1, period 2. Or was it middle school or high school they call it periods? I had period 2. So then they tried Hillary Clinton. The problem with Hillary Clinton is that she had so much corruption and scandals from going all the way back to Arkansas. And so when Trump was like, crooked Hillary, it really stuck because people started to investigate and remember all those scandals, and people ended up dying challenging the Clintons and stuff like that. So, yeah. So people didn't trust Hillary Clinton for a lot of reasons. And then they released this tape that was like Hillary Clinton about killing some terrorists or something. And then she's like, "We came, we saw, they died." Ha 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 ha. They released this audio where she's like saying, "We came, we saw, they died," or some shit. And the American people were like, "This is like the wicked witch of this is the wicked bitch of the West," you know. And then also she didn't really play up any of her feminine features. I know she was older, but she wore this fucking dyke ass pantsuit all the time, and American people weren't feeling that. I mean, at least even women like that are in corporate America, they still are like, "Hey, I'm a female," and they still like, "Oh, I'm still a woman," and they still do their makeup and they still do their hair and everything, and they might wear a suit or something like in corporate America, but they don't deny the fact that they're a woman. But what Hillary Clinton was doing is like wearing some dude's pantsuit, and it looked like, I'm declaring myself not a woman, and she cut her hair short and stuff. It was kind of like anti-woman. I don't know. It wasn't. I'm non-woman. I don't know what I am. I'm non-binary. Who knows? I'm Hillary Clinton. I mean, it was just what the fuck kind of idea was that? Now, to be fair, she wasn't ever gonna look like she was at Yale or whatever with the fucking long flowing hair and 20 years old. She wasn't gonna look like the hot dish she was back then. There was no way she could play that up. You know what I mean? She was too old, too wrinkly, too witchy looking. And so there was no fucking way she was going to look like some hot babe from college anymore. You know, those days were over. So... yeah, I saw the younger picture, younger pictures of Hillary Clinton, and I thought, oh, I know why Bill wanted to hit it. I get it. When she was 19, that was kind of going on. That hot librarian chick look and shit back in the days. I get it. Back in 1962, that shit was on. Hell yeah. Back in 1965, that shit was woo, right? Whoo. Whoo! Yeah. Hillary Rodham Clinton. Ooh! Yeah, that was good shit. All right, back in the day, you know. And then Hillary wasn't doing it for Bill, and William Jefferson Clinton in the 1990s, and he had to get a 24-year-old. Yeah. Get a little blowjobs. Monica Lewinsky. Ooh, Monica Lewinsky. I'm the most powerful man on the world. Suck my dick. Yeah. What about that? Hey, I'm the most powerful dude ever. Suck my dick. It was the Oval Office turned into the Oral Office or whatever. He barely got out of impeachment for that. He probably just let him slide because times were good and stuff. Bill Clinton was fortunate. He was not particularly skilled, but he was able to help work with the Republicans to balance the budget. He was a moderate Democrat. And also, times were really good. The internet was coming out. Jobs were there. The recession was over. It was kind of boom times. He was really in a fortunate place in history to secure his 8 years because it was good. It was great times. If you're in great times and the economy's booming, maybe you're a politician, maybe you're the president. Maybe it's not all you're doing. Maybe you had nothing to do with it. Maybe somebody created a quantum, fucking speed of light spaceship or something. What if it makes the whole world wealthy as hell and makes the future look bright as fuck? And maybe you get elected because they're like, oh, well, you had nothing to do with it, but you're the politician that was there at the time. That's every politician's dream, is they get an easy ride, I mean, Bill Clinton got an easy ride. their rise to power was with much controversy. You know, people ended up dead, the Arkansas Whitewater scandal, etc. But the Clintons were blessed in the 1990s, 1992 the year 2000, that solid 8 years, with the internet growth, technological growth, economic growth. They were pretty privileged, honestly, as politicians. They didn't have to go into this, like Donald Trump going into this fucking Biden Harris, fucking disaster zone and have to clean up all that shit. So. Yeah, Democrats don't seem so cool anymore, but Bill Clinton seemed cool. Like, he liked hot babes and he liked to play jazz. And his inauguration, he played with, a newly reunited Fleetwood Mac, Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow, and all this stuff. And so he seemed like the hip president back then. And, kind of an oddball that he's from Arkansas. But, I don't know. He played like he's Bubba, like he's some redneck, but he's like really cunning. He's really intelligent. So Bill Clinton he's very astute. He's very intelligent. He's very crafty, politically speaking. Maybe not in his entire intelligence quotient, but he's also a great public speaker as well, or used to be at any rate. So. Then they used the trick, hey, here's a black man, but it's in 2008. Here's a black man. And then everybody found out, oh, crap, he's half white, half black. He's an interracial. He's a mixed race president. He's bullshitting us about hope and change. And then Americans tried to get the fuck out of it. They tried really hard. I voted for Mitt Romney in 2012. I tried my ass off, even though that's a rhino, Republican in name only. I tried my ass off to defeat Barack Hussein Obama in 2012, but he won again, damn it. And so Obama, Biden. Yeah, but I voted for Mitt Romney, for the record. And I went to the voting booth to that school, that elementary. What was it, Amelia Earhart Elementary School? Yeah. I tried to get his ass out of office. At least got my ass out there to the polls and shook my ass out there. And so that's what it's all about. It's about getting the asses to the polls. It's about getting the asses to go vote. That's what it's really all about, folks. And so sometimes it works. Sometimes it works wonderfully. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, Barack Hussein Obama, despite the power of people trying to vote for Republicans in 2012 to insert Barack Hussein Obama, he was unfortunately reelected another 4 years. My favorite was the Southern radio station Walton and Johnson after Barack Hussein Obama was elected. It was about 2008, 2009. I love their radio show where they say, how do you like him now? How do you like him now? Do you like what you bought? And I love that all the time. They would say, Barack Hussein Obama, how do you like him now? And that was my favorite. How do you like him now? Now, I never say that about Trump. All the times I voted, 2 times I voted for Trump. Donald John Trump. I never felt buyer's remorse. I never felt like, oh shit. Like, how do you like him now? I never thought so. I always thought, you know what? I voted for Donald Trump. This is exactly what I wanted. All the things. And, I never felt buyer's remorse. But anybody who ever voted for Barack Hussein Obama or Joe Biden, they feel, or Hillary Clinton or whatever, any of these Democrat Party communist, anti-American, socialist bastards, Marxist pieces of shit, everybody who's ever voted for them, because they got hoodwinked or whatever, they feel really horrible, like regret and buyer's remorse. But I will say that what's different about the boomers and the millennials and Generation X, the three generations before Generation Z and Generation Alpha, I suppose what it is, it's not like an allegiance to Donald Trump. What it is that we're familiar with him. So we've been growing up with Donald Trump most of our lives. So we feel familiar with his character. We feel familiar that he's an all-American guy. And it may seem unfamiliar that he's a wealthy New York and real estate developer. What it is that we trust him, and almost implicitly, and that's something that maybe Generation Z, Generation Alpha doesn't understand, is why we're voting so strongly for Trump, is not just only because of his great speeches, the great people he's getting together, his great policies, his fantastic, that he got persecuted and almost got killed twice, and he's still going. Not only because he's a champion, he's our hero, but it has a deeper significance, and it's more of a temporal significance that he's been a public figure in America for decades, and so a lot of people kind of gravitate towards an all-American figure like that. So let's say an alternative universe. Let me do a hypothetical scenario that's not Trump. That's the central figure in America. Let's say it's somebody else. We could name who it could be. Let's say that somehow we had a constitutional amendment that Arnold Schwarzenegger could be the president. All right, that a foreign-born person could be the president if the Congress and the people voted for it to be so, and it was unanimous or something like that. So it was a willing, that Americans did it on purpose, that they voted and the Congress did it on purpose. It was the will of the people, the will of all of the people of the United States. All right, let's say it was Michael Jordan. Let's say that Michael Jordan ran for president, the basketball star, one of the greatest basketball stars in the world. Let's say he won. It would be like that. Some people would say, why are you voting for Michael Jordan? And then some people would say, well, he's fucking Michael Jordan. If people voted for Chuck Norris, then they say, well, why are you voting for Chuck Norris? Well, Chuck Norris is all-American. He's awesome. I'd vote for fucking Chuck Norris. It's like if I said, if Hulk Hogan ran for president, and fucking Hulk Hogan, he has no political or military experience as far as I know. Maybe he's done some work in a warehouse, and he could organize the fucking warehouse with his forklift real good or whatever. Maybe he could wrestle real good. He has no experience in politics or, fucking running militaries or anything like that. But what if Hulk Hogan ran or Chuck Norris? What if it was what in an alternative universe, let's say O.J. Simpson, James Orenthal Simpson, had not murdered his wife in cold blood and her lover with a knife and stabbed them to death and become a felon, a criminal, and a piece of shit, and somebody who's cast out of American society. Let's say that he started running for... All right, here, this is the alternative future I want you to imagine. What if James Orenthal Simpson, O.J. the Juice Simpson, what if he would have ran for California governor, got that, and then he ran for president, let's say? He would have become the first all African-American president he could have ran because people would have trusted him if he hadn't stabbed people to death in cold blood. My point is, people trusted Trump because he was a familiar character. He was an all-American guy. Let's say that Charlie Sheen had not been doing so much drugs and hookers and escorts and living the Hunter Biden lifestyle. Let's say he was cleaner. Let's say he started running for a political office and he started to win. And he wasn't snorting crack and he wasn't going on crack binges and liquor binges. And what if he was fucking clean? What if he wasn't trying to fuck hoes and shit and waking up, smoking cigarettes butt naked with a bottle of Jack and a fucking pipe of crack every fucking night or whatever back in his days? What if, people would have just out of familiarity voted for Charlie Sheen? And even Ronald Reagan himself was a former actor. So People voted, of course, for Donald Trump for his policies, but they also voted for him for another reason, because they knew who he was. And he wasn't a mystery. We've lived, what, some of us, 40, 50, 60, 70 years with Donald Trump, for as long as we can remember some. So, to me, he's an American icon, an American hero, an American real estate developer, an American president that secured the White House at least for 8 years. So, to me, he's a man who survived two assassination attempts, 91 illegal and unconstitutional indictments by the other party, by the Biden-Harris administration and their cronies, Letitia James, Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg. So to me, he's a survivor. He's a winner. And he's a guy who gets shit done. And so always has, always will until his day is done. So there was this theory that we're supposed to hate rich people. We're supposed to hate affluent people. There's this idea going around America that we're going to hate everybody who succeeds. Now, I don't subscribe to that, in fact, that I'm supposed to hate everybody who fucking ever succeeds. Now, maybe I don't like Harvard, Silver Spoon, Yale, fucking Cornell, fucking whatever, Oxford, fucking motherfuckers. Maybe I don't always like them. Maybe I don't always like rich kids. I don't always like rich people. Maybe I don't like power, wealth, and privilege. Maybe I don't. At all. At fucking all. Not in any way, shape, or form. Maybe I don't like it at all. Maybe it disgusts me. Maybe it's abhorrent to me. Maybe the whole thing is just disgusting. But with all that being said, yeah, people believed in Donald Trump because they know him. They feel like he's unlike any other politician in America. People feel like they actually know him, that they could hang out with him, that they could have a McDonald's with him, that they could play baseball with him and his family, that they could have a barbecue with him. It's very different. Like, maybe you felt like you could have that sort of hangout with, Ronald Reagan or something, maybe. Maybe you felt like you could go to the concert with Bill Clinton. Maybe you feel like you could go to the rodeo with George W. Bush Jr. You definitely didn't feel like you could do anything except go to the James Brown concert with Barack Hussein Obama. And Biden, I don't know what, I don't understand what his appeal was. He was just installed. He wasn't really beloved. I don't understand what you could do with Joe Biden. I guess play Scrabble or something, or watch episodes of Matlock and Clint Eastwood movies or some shit like that. I don't know what you would do with Joe Biden. I guess eat ice cream. Ate some pretty good Italian restaurant, Linguini. But yeah, I guess you could go to the ice cream shop with Joe Biden. But Donald Trump feels like a guy you could eat the cheeseburger with and go play some golf and hang out, relax, and go to the pool and just chill. And it just seems like a dude you can really, you can really. It just seems like a guy that people can identify with, like on a down to earth level. Even though he's kind of like not even down to earth. He's like in the stratosphere, but he seems like he is down to earth, even though he's in the stratosphere of power and money and privilege and all that. So that's the different thing is it's the familiarity with the brand of Trump. You know, it's like everybody, like rappers sing about Trump. He's parodied in Gremlins movies. Gremlins 2, a new batch, the corporate guy, he's called, you know, Clamp or something. Like, there's so many parodies of Trump, the real estate developer. I don't think he's a bad guy. So I never thought he was an evil or a bad guy. That's not true for Barack Hussein Obama or Joe Biden. I think those people are really evil. And Hillary Rodham Clinton. And so, but I never ever felt that way about Trump. I don't think he's evil at all. And so, that's why I got my vote twice. And, yeah. I know there's wrinkles in every continuum, and no man, no system, no woman are flawless. But this is fantastic. This president. I mean, he's probably, if he's not the best president in the 21st century, you know, he's going to be the best president. You know, well, he's going to make the best presidents list. It doesn't matter if CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, Microsoft, Bill Gates of hell, NBC, say that he's not the best. We know who's the fucking best, you know. So fuck them. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They keep on going with this same tired bullshit script. Racism, sexism. Oh. Racism, sexism. Oh, he's a white man. He must be sexist and racist. See, this is the symbol for jerking off. It means it's bull. Well, what's the symbol for shitting? Is it? Well, we can do the jerk off. Well, it is jerk. It is jerk off. And it's also. Is this like the fart? It's like shit dropping. Yeah, that's what it is. It's noise. Yeah, pumping fear into working honest people. Oh, the climate change. Oh, the global warming. Oh, John Kerry can ride in a private jet to Switzerland, but you peasants have to give up your carbon, your fossil fuel automobiles, your hydrocarbon vehicles. You have to give them up, but Bill Clinton and John Kerry don't have to give them up, or Michael Moore, or Al Gore. No, only you have to give up your shit. Huh. Wow, that's how the world works, really? Oh, wait. We have to give up our carbon, our fossil fuels, our dead dinosaurs. But John Kerry gets to fly around the world, Heinz ketchup fortune. That's how the shit's really shaking. Fantastic. Interesting. Huh. The idiocy and the hypocrisy of our elites, whether bi-coastal elites or leftist, global, liberal world order elites. What a bunch of pompous, arrogant, elite, jack motherfucking asses. What a bunch of hypocritical bastard motherfuckers. This is China might remain land of the Xi and the home of the slaves, but America will always be the land of the free and the home of the brave. So help us God. FJB, fuck Joe Biden too. What a pompous, corrupt piece of shit. Sure, Microsoft, Google, Alphabet, maybe Facebook, Meta platforms, maybe some leftist publishers might write glowing reviews of Joe Biden's presidency and his life in politics. They might do that, try to rewrite history. But you all and I, as American citizens, knew and will remember that the Joe Biden-Harris presidency was one of the worst motherfucking presidencies, the most ruinous and painful of all American history. Almost 250 years. So, no bunch of liberal, controlling, writing bots are going to erase our memories of what really happened during the COVID years. So, yeah, good luck. I think Americans are going to pass around the truth about Joe Biden and Barack Hussein Obama, and they're going to be candid about it, and they're not going to mince words. They're going to be honest. They're going to do what the mainstream media hates. They're going to be candid, honest, lucid, and real. Yeah, something we haven't experienced for a long time. So, God bless and best of success. I'm so glad there's 3 years and 7 months of Trump. Man, I'm fucking pumped. I'm fucking ecstatic. I'm electrostatic. I'm fucking enigmatic. Fucking 3 fucking years, 7 months of Trump. Fuck, that's gonna be the best years of my life, dude. Woo! 250th anniversary of America. This is gonna be the tits of the shit. Legit. I'm fucking Donald pumped. Who is it? This is gonna be badass, guys. If you're not Donald pumped, well, if you're not pumped, Donald pumped, well, I'll see you at the gym. I have my MAGA shirt on. Let's get pumped. Testosterone. Some testosterone out here. Yeah. The doctor said I was low T. I'm trying to get my T up, though. Not just taking magnesium, potassium, man. I'm trying to eat more meat. You know what I mean? Get some brotassium, flotassium. We're coming up with new elements up in here. And so, yeah. We're going to need some new elements to save America at this time. That's for sure. Some brotassium, flotassium. Testosterone. Yeah. Testosterone. Instead of testosterone, what I've done is I've created testosterone. I made it testosterone. Thereby creating a new level of the word. So, my drinks have run out of drink. Oh, wait, this one. That one kind of made a farty noise, and it was like, which I enjoy, the farty noise. They haven't decided to do James Bond yet? Well, it's going to be a black trans queer dude or something? Man. What if it wasn't a white dude? What if it was a black trans queer dude and he had like a rainbow like bikini on? And it was like, I'm here. I'm the next Bond for the 2020s. Ooh. And then how people would think, they'd probably be like, what the fuck? And it's like a dude, like, it's like Jamaican. And it's like a trans queer and he has lipstick and he has like a rainbow bikini on. It's like, I bond for a new woke decade. And the show is like butt cheeks, and they had the fucking, it's like African butt cheeks, and it was like rainbow. Man, I hope it's not like that. A new Bond for a new century, for a new decade. And he's like, hi, hey, I'm from Jamaica. Hey, I'm a woman, trans queer. It's like, ding, 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 da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. A new James Bond. Q is not quartermaster, it means queer. Ding, 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 ding. M is for masochism. I know everybody's excited for this new James Bond. It's an Amazon James Bond, right? Jeff Bezos, Lex Luthor, baby daddy McMillion. The new James Bond, man. Yeah. It'd be like gay blonde or something. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be dope. Whatever they come up with. Amazon managed to fuck up Lord of the Rings and make it woke and gay and as queer and diverse as hell. Imagine this next one. When Amazon gets their filthy motherfucking hands on the James Bond broccoli, Eon Productions, MGM. Yeah. It's gonna be James Bond puts his wiener into a dude's butt. Homo Bond. I know people are getting so excited about a homo Bond, and then he won't even smoke. They're like, no, smoking's bad for my lungs. I don't do that. I don't drink. They'll be like, yes, I'd like the virgin daiquiri. And then, like the new gay Bond, he'll be like, oh no, I don't smoke. That's bad for my lungs. I could get cancer or something like that. That's dangerous for an international spy. Oh no, I don't drink. That's so 20th century. That's so heterosexual. I don't do that. No. I'm the Bond who does nothing. Woo! Smoke, drink, fuck. I don't do any of that. I'm too cool. I'm the new James Bond for Amazon. Is everybody hyped about it? I can't wait to see the next James Bond. And do I think it's gonna be a reggae black dude in a rainbow bikini? Well, if it did come true, I'd be pretty shocked. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.